Good afternoon, everyone. I am so excited. We're kicking off our trust program, which has been running now. It's a third year. And this program is mainly assisting us to help entrepreneurs to actually build up system, but also to have a structure on how they should be approaching finance. And we all know as entrepreneurs, we struggle with financial management. I think sometimes it's because we as entrepreneurs also don't understand what is money about, and we don't understand how then to manage this thing that we don't necessarily know or understand it well enough. So I think as people are typing their questions on the chat, and as people also are coming through, please just feel open to ask any question. I will request while we are discussing, mute yourself, but when you want to talk, unmute yourself, and just keep this discussion going. So on my introduction, myself, my name is Precious Mvulane. I help entrepreneurs structure and run businesses so that they should not do the work of an employee. They should do the work of being a director, of being an investor. And half, if not most entrepreneurs, we struggle with actually running businesses that one day we will see dividends. One day we will only just be directors, not employees. We generally end up working in our business and create jobs for ourselves, whereas businesses are supposed to build so that we create jobs for other people. So that is my passion, and that is what we do. We have designed several programs. Finance Success was our signature product that we designed in 2014. And over the years, we also have published the book, the Essential Finance Handbook. And that handbook has been republished. We are on a third edition now that we're amending, and we're going to be releasing it in October. And the Essential Finance Handbook is about the 7 steps, starting from 1, setting your goals, 2, getting the right structure, 3, understanding your obligation, and 4, understanding what are the real finance issues that you should be looking at, but also understand the relationship between finance in general and corporate finance and accounting and also bookkeeping, because I think in most instances as entrepreneurs, we don't understand that those things are actually different and they have different approaches. As a result, we are not doing what is expected from us to be done. So, and then step number 5 is about setting up the systems and controls. And number 6 is about finding the right role players who will then fulfill these roles and responsibilities and activities in finance. And those generally will range from accountants, auditors, bookkeepers, payroll advisors, tax practitioners, all those. Again, most entrepreneurs struggle with that. They can't distinguish between each accountant. What type of accountant is that? Because we don't understand there's different 4 types of accounting. It's not just financial management. It's financial management, it's accounting, in terms of costing, it's tax accounting, it's also just general accounts. Again, we need to actually unpack those and let entrepreneurs so that they can make informed decisions. What else I needed to say? Getting disturbed by Lerato. She's finally responding to me, and there's more people coming through. And tell me how many of you are actually new on this platform. Please indicate on the chat how many that you are. That is the first time you are on this chart, or should I do a poll? Okay, let me do a poll so that it's gonna be easier. So is any questions on here? Lerato is asking about the Essential Finance Handbook. Denise, would you please provide a link for the book? I can go through also on the steps of the book, uh, okay, so I've just done a poll. I see that there's also old clients. I'm excited about them coming back. And thank you so much for coming today. I've just now saved the poll. I will then just ask everyone if you can just complete it. I'm then gonna go back to the chat just to see who's actually got. Oh, great. Tando, it's your first time. Sibonuguhle is also the first time. And welcome, Bennett is the first time. Oh, quite a lot of people that are the first time. Lerato, I'm not too sure if it is. So because most of you, it's actually the first time you're on this platform, no problem. I'm gonna just share one or two things with you, which should actually maybe help you to understand few basic things. I said earlier, we as entrepreneurs struggle with finance because we are also just struggling with money in general. I think what we have to get our mind right is to actually understand that what is money? Money is a thank you. Because everyone is new, let me show my face. I usually charge for the face. Okay, so let's start afresh. So we have to be very clear first of what is money. One, money is a thank you. It's a thank you for the contribution you have made to someone else's life, so that you basically contribute by solving the problem of that person, whoever that person is. So that is what money is. So if you are having a problem with money, it also means the contribution you are making to the society is not equivalent to the money you are looking for. And this could be because of different reasons. Sometimes you could be contributing, but you're contributing to the wrong customer at the wrong time, or your positioning of your business or of yourself is not to the right market that is willing to pay. And I can share quite a lot of experiences that I've had where I actually was providing a product and services and charging this, and there was no uptake. And that was because I was not talking to the right person, even though that person could see that this is a solution, but they couldn't afford. Remember, when the customer cannot afford what you're offering, there is no business. You're just doing an NPO work. There is no business. There must be a willing to pay for the product or for the service or for the solution that you are actually providing. And I think when we then take it that way and understand money that way, we then begin to really start analyzing, are we really contributing to the society, or are we recycling whatever that is on our minds to make a business? Are we really listening to the customers, or did we go to business with a specific mindset of saying that that's a product I want to offer, or that's the solutions that I want to offer? So I really need you, if you are struggling with that, if you're struggling with actually having to generate money in your business, understand what money is and understand what it means by contributing to the society. What does it mean by solving a problem? Because then you're not going to have any emotions around whether you have customers or not, but you're going to focus on where you need to focus, which is what? Contribution. The more you increase your contribution, your value in the market increase, especially if you continuously are learning. Because the more you learn, the more you will earn. And that is the principle of money. And guys, please unmute yourself if you have any question, because I really need you to understand those principles. So the money is not just about the paper. It's about what? The contribution that you are making to the society. So don't focus on what is sitting in your bank account. Focus on what contribution are you making so that you keep on increasing that to a point that the customer doesn't even ask you what's the price of what you're offering, because they really can see that this is going to be such a value to you. Carl, Lerato, offense, no? Any questions on those principles? Come on, guys, let's engage. Zulema, Sangwane, hello. Do you have any question on what I've just, on that principle, on money principle number 1?
Hello, Lerato.
Hi, Lerato.
Yes. I'm just sorry. I logged in and went off thinking I was waiting for 4 o'clock. I wasn't aware that you had started.
Oh, no, I always take questions early for those who come early. Reward.
Okay. It's just fascinating to, talking about making a financial plan and, being disciplined in that. I'm hoping by the end of this course just to have some idea as to how other people manage to stick to their financial goals and achieve them.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'm gonna mute you guys, those, because we're having a feeder. Okay, so you are interested on the financial discipline. I think I will cover it, Lerato, just now. Let me go through this. Offense, you can ask the question in the same place where you are typing on question, but make sure it's the question for everyone. Okay, just make sure that it's a question for everyone so that everyone can see. Okay, let me just go through some of the questions. Someone asked us that, Bennett, is it wise to change my business model based on the current situation that we're facing? Bennett, please unmute yourself so that we can engage. My philosophy about business, you should change your business, even its core founding objectives, if the market is changing. If the market situation is changing and you are not being adaptive to the environment, it's just a matter of time before your business dies. So Bernard, to me, to you, my advice, if your current environment is changing, you do not have a choice. You also have to change your business model. But maybe let's engage further to provide more questions and also give a background of your entity, because I can also then work it through on what that model can work best in that environment.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. The reason I raised that question is because I had changed my entire business model. Initially, or when I started my business, I was into flooring and providing chemicals, in-house chemicals, and so forth. But when COVID came, then especially on the side of flooring, and the business just became so quiet that there were no people that was. Remember, when you're doing flooring, you need to go to people's houses, and so sometimes for days or weeks, where you'll have to remove their carpets or their tiles or whatever to replace or put new ones. So when we faced the pandemic, I realized that now that the business is not generating any income, I then decided, look, I'm going to obviously now join on everyone, where I got the guys to train both few machines, your fumigation machines, then but over and above all those, I got worried because my aim, or why I started the business, was I had something in mind where I could see that there is a gap, and now that the market is getting clustered with people doing, whether it's your PPEs, your sanitizers, it worries me that few weeks down the line, when the spread of COVID is being controlled, that I might have to go back again now to remodeling again my business, because remember, I started websites now where have now concluded that we're providing certain services where now, once COVID is a thing of the past, I think now it means now I have to go back to my original business. So it puzzles me a bit that do I have to add it as an addition on top of what I originally do, or completely start a new business? You know?
But Bennett, what you've just explained is not the business model. What you've just explained is changing your offering. So the change of the offering must, or whether it's product or services, must be informed by your strategy, must also be informed by your core competence, what you do best. So my suggestion for you then is to actually say, first of all, there is no point of you offering products and services that there is no demand. Ask yourself currently, what is actually on the demand? What is it that is on the demand that I have capacity and capability to actually be able to deliver? Can I actually put up processes and system quick enough to actually do I know where to find the customers? Don't be stuck on just thinking on how you started. Guys, I don't know those who are old on the platform that have been here. I have shared this experience that when I started my business, it was an auditing firm. And when I went to the market, my target market is you guys, is entrepreneurs. But entrepreneurs had no clue about the difference between the auditor and accountant and the bookkeeper. So, and in other instances, when they did have, their books were in such shambles that honestly, Erba will have to actually deregister me as an auditor if I've signed off. So I then had to change if I don't want to change the target market. I then have to start offering something that might not have been for the registered auditor, but it's something maybe that I loved, it's something that I felt the market needed the most. So always look at what the market is asking. Don't go to the market with a prescribed, and don't have maybe some other people would say, but what are the people gonna say when I've changed to this? It's none of their business. As long as when are you making money in the bank account, don't worry about what other people are thinking. There's nothing wrong from changing. I mean, I've changed my business 3-4 times. I'm actually about to change it again. And I'm not afraid of that. Because it's about demand. It's about affordability. It's about how much turnover, how much revenue you want to make in the business. There was a hand. Please just unmute yourself. There was a hand that was up. Go ahead.
Hi, Precious.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. My name is Zulema. I'm the co-founder of Gamo Zule Enterprise. My company does cleaning services. Regarding the issue that we are saying right now, I'm getting a little bit confused, because as now we are in this crisis of COVID-19, a lot of our businesses have been affected regarding getting the contract, getting the job. So is it a good idea to change a business rather than sticking to your core business but doing a side hustle in order for you to maintain yourself? Because at the end of the day, we are doing business to make profit. So is it wise for somebody to change business, the core business, time and a time? Or rather, I stick to cleaning even though there's no profit that is happening, but to find a side hustle that I can do in the meantime to balance myself going forward, looking to seek other opportunities. That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Zulem. So personally, I think it's not just whether either or. It's about how comfortable are you. So if I was in cleaning services as yourself, I would move to sanitization right now because you're already in cleaning. I will then move. So it's about customizing, but it's almost like you have to think about since there's no cleaning, what is currently being on demand? Is she still with me? I was like, are you still with me?
Yes, I'm with you. I understand. Yes.
Yes. So you can choose to go, it's horizontal strategy. Horizontal strategy means, you know what, I'm going to just branch out from cleaning services altogether. Or you're going to go vertical and say, you know what, currently they are cleaning, maybe before you were cleaning household. Now I'm going to clean, which are the places that are the most busiest right now? Hospitals. But then I need to make sure that I have the right competencies and the right PPE to protect the people. But then I'm focusing on cleaning maybe corporate in those spaces where people, there's lots of movement of people. So what I am saying to you, but you're still doing cleaning. But you can go through that also and with a horizontal approach and say, I am actually now going to produce the product for cleaning. I'm no longer the one who's doing the cleaning, but people are buying, because your aim is to go that way so that you don't go too far off from you, and you use the same customer base. Maybe the customers that previously they were procuring from you, you sell to them now personally in their homes for the materials that you are selling, because they're already your customers.
All right.
So it's about following the money and not being stuck on that idea of what you were doing.
All right. Thank
Perfect.
you.
You're welcome. I see that there's another question here. Someone, don't worry, some of you guys saying you can't hear the question properly. No problem. We are gonna curate these questions, send you the link, but we're also gonna make sure that the recording is done. So, and then you can listen to it again. Okay, so a person also saying, my biggest challenge that customer were giving me a hard time when it was time to pay. Even my cash flow was not enough to cover everything and sold my equipment. What do you think my mistake was? Okay, I think, Tando, we sometimes as entrepreneurs are too hungry for sale.
Yeah.
We're too hungry for sale, and let me unmute yourself, Tandy, so that maybe it doesn't provide a fit, so that they can hear, and then you can then maybe rephrase your question if you want to have a follow-up, because there's a noise coming behind.
Yes, I've unmuted myself. I've
Okay, sure.
myself.
So when you're getting a customer, guys, you have to qualify the customer. Qualify the customer. Are they buying the units that you want your customer to be buying? 2, is that customer, can they afford what I'm offering? Don't be too hungry for the sale, because a customer that you have not qualified will actually cost you more money and more headache. More money and more headache. So just be careful. Qualify the customer. If you have not worked with a customer, Tando, maybe for more, they have not ordered from you more than 2 times, they can't be buying things for cash. That's a person, maybe you can say, you know what, because we don't have a relationship yet, give me 50% or give me a 75% of the price that I'm offering. I will collect the balance and we'll take it from there. And nurture a relationship. Don't actually believe everything the customer is saying. And I am saying this because I have been there myself, where I was too emotional on the customer saying yes or no. And then when the customer is ready to buy, I'm almost like giving them everything. These days, I don't. It's either the customer wants to buy from me or they don't want to buy from me. And that's it. And I would rather walk away, because it takes way too much effort to nurture a relationship where the customer does not value. That is also relating to how you value yourself. So start screening your customers. Start making sure that when you have not got a relationship with someone yet, you create buffers and say, you know what, for the first order, I don't speak anything unless the 50%, but make sure in that 50%, it has covered your cost so that it allows you to go back and buy your raw materials.
I totally understand. Thank you so much.
So build up the right customer relationship. Don't buy their love and their care. Trust me, guys, customer is just still a customer and a human being at the same time. So rather build a relationship and say, hey, we don't know each other that much. This is what I generally do. Start also putting processes that are going to protect you and your business.
Thank you so much, Prish.
Thank you. And then there's another one. There's another question here. Lerato said, I'm in bed and breakfast. My challenge is pricing my services wisely in comparison to Airbnb. I feel charging my rate per season is devalue my service. Is it unwise keeping a flat rate throughout the holiday season? Lerato, my dear, there is something called the law of demand and supply. Economics 101. You cannot have a flat rate. You cannot have a flat rate when everything in any business, in any industry is influenced by law of demand and supply. So when there is a holiday season, I don't pay the same price than when it's a normal. So I really would like you to first look at your B&B and say, who am I selling this for? Which target market is actually buying from me? If I were to analyze my customers, was it corporate? Was it individuals? Was it school children, Darita? Because from that, you can then build up a strategy. Again, guys, you can't build a strategy when you have not worked out the target market, because the target market then tells you how would you go to that market. Because let's make an example. If you analyze and you pick up that from your B&B, Lerato, you actually got most visitors which were corporate. You then have to go to those corporate and ask them, are they planning to have people coming and using your facility? And then you can sign a deal from that and negotiate the price. And for that, you can make it that a retainer arrangement. That can be a flat fee. But if then you actually find out that your average customers is actually maybe school, students, schools that come and do visit for vacations or whatever, then you can start asking yourself, okay, the school, they can only come on holidays. But guess what? If that's the case, maybe instead of having one bed per room, you can have bunk beds. Do you understand what I mean? So you gotta need to know first, who's my target market? Has that target market been attracted by my business? Or maybe my target market was something else, but what I'm getting in the market is something else. Is it couples? What is it that is your target market? That will then direct you as to what strategy are you gonna build. And from that strategy, you can then formulate a pricing. Lerato, do you wanna do a follow-up? Oh, okay, you are covered here. I can see you saying that's a good angle to work from. Thank you so much. You are welcome, Lerato. We're here to help entrepreneurs. We're here to assist you to think through things, and that is why we're here. Sharif, please go ahead. And guys, I usually, if you want to know more about what I do and how long I've been doing this, you can go to our website. You can go to and Google me and stuff. I generally don't try to work out things like that, but we can also send you our profile. Yeah, go ahead. Sharif, please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Thanks, Precious. I just your early advice you gave for when they were asking about changing business models and stuff, you advise them if it's in the same industry to stay in there. I'm in the construction industry. We're doing HVAC and stuff, and with this COVID thing, we really had to look, and it's not like restructure, but rethink of how we're running the business. Especially when a couple of weeks or a month ago, when they whoever realized that the virus is now airborne. So it means that, some of the systems and structures that we put into the buildings had to change. So it means that now we have to go on different trainings and stuff like that. So is it advisable to move to change the model in the same industry or wherever? Because you said follow the money. If it's in the same sector, or if it's beneficial to go outside? Second question, you mentioned earlier about the lady that just spoke now about trying to protect yourself against clients that's delaying payment or not paying at all. I mean, we were in the same situation before and during the COVID. And you mentioned that as a business, you must put processes in place to protect the business. Do you have any examples or stuff like that that can assist us in that regard? Thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I need us keep yourself on volume so that we can engage, Sheriff. I think we need to also just own up to the fact that if the business does not have money, it ceases to exist. And that is why the first principle is to say, yes, I'm offering this. Yes, I have the skill for this. But currently, that is not what I'm attracting. That is not what the demand is showing. That is not what the market decides what it wants in the environment. So if you are offering something that the market doesn't want, you actually have no business to be in that industry at all. That is why then following the money is actually important. But now let's go back to the other question that you're raising, where we are saying what principles or what processes can you put in place? I think you can do something which we called it profiling your customers. You see, when you are doing the screening or qualifying your customers, you can have customer A, and your customer A, maybe you can categorize them according to the volume of how much they buy from you. And customer B could be maybe another customer in another category based on the volume or the amount that those people actually charge. So let me make a typical example. In my business, I have about 3 categories of customers. There's customers that buy from me just the books. There's customers that buy from me the training. There's customers that buy from me products like softwares. There's customers that buy from me the coaching programs. So if I'm categorizing all these, I know which one bring most value. The first 3 are not providing as high value as number 1. But for me to earn number 1 on a customer, there's a lot of nurturing and also interaction with that customer. For that customer to then say, Precious, I need your service. Every month or every quarter, let's have a session where you are analyzing my books and providing me with a feedback of where I'm going wrong and how I should actually manage my finances. So what I'm saying to you, you're gonna need to think about the sales funnel. You're gonna need to think about where do you put most of your effort, and ask yourself, is the effort you're putting, are you getting your reward and returns on it? And then from that, build up also and say, okay, when I am actually doing the buying of or the selling of the book, there is no human interaction except the day when the courier company comes and fetch the book in my house. But other than that, there's no human interaction, less effort. Therefore, it's the cheapest. But when it comes to the coaching program, there is more effort. Therefore, there is more charging. So always relate that your processes should be aligned to the value of what you are dealing with, whether it's product or services, but also think about if that customer were not to pay me, what will that mean in my cash flow? Surely if someone doesn't pay 300 Rand, I won't go bankrupt. But when someone does not pay a 600,000, then I will go bankrupt because of my cash flow and my working capital. So always look at your processes, assess the risk, understand what's the risk involved there, and based on the risk, you will then put control. Oh, someone is. So based on the risk, you will then put control. Be careful, entrepreneurs, of putting too much controls on things that the benefit, the cost versus the benefit is not actually working out. So what do I mean? It's almost like you're selling books in South Africa, for example, and you have a credit card machine. That is just that you will pay more to the a credit card machine company than getting your money on the books. So understand that every control that you put in your business, there's a cost versus the benefit, but also understand if the business loses that transaction, what would it mean?
Okay, because I mean, as I listened earlier, you mentioned that one of the controls you can put in is a higher percentage on the deposit to more or less cover your margin, to leave like a less percentage on risk.
Yeah.
And now also with you, that's the different channels that you're using in the retailing. So training will be the only interaction that you'll have, that the services you'll be providing.
Yes. So again, look at your industry. I know, like in an industry, in training environment, you don't book a venue unless you have at least paid the deposit. So ask yourself, what are the right terms and conditions that I can put in my business? But is these terms and conditions that I have, are they actually congruent to what the market is offering? Because you should also keep in mind that if you are too below the market, the customer is not going to take you serious. If you are too high, you might not actually be able to get that customer. So you have to put the payment terms and conditions that are aligned to your industry, and also understand that qualifying that customer first and creating a relationship is more important than making a sale.
Okay, now 100%.
The roles and responsibilities and obligations are clear. But the last one, when you have agreed on the terms and conditions, put them in writing. Most entrepreneurs also, they fail big time on this one. They don't put their terms and conditions in writing. And yet they then end up with the financial risk.
Okay, thanks so much.
I know, it's not a straightforward answer.
I might come back later.
No problem. That is good. Okay, I'm looking at, someone was asking about paying themselves salaries and stuff. Can someone unmute themselves? Let's talk about that. How do you pay yourself the salaries and stuff? Okay.
Yes, hello, Precious.
Hi.
Yes, and everyone else. Precious, I just wanted to find out, since some of us post COVID-19 or post level 3, we had to go back to a different industries. I'm in the construction industry. So I had to partner with someone who had the capital muscle for us to venture into a project. But now I was given the task to come up with a method of paying me something for my sustenance besides the profit share that we obviously gonna go into once we've done most of the work and managed to invoice. So I'm still in limbo as to say, how am I going to structure my payment, because I cannot make up a value for the time that I put in, because I also work from home. I put in the hours on a daily basis to make sure there's production on site. So I just wanted some advice on that regard. Thanks.
No problem, Dumiso. Thank you for sharing your question. I'm sure it's going to help even others. So, Dumiso, the best way of doing it is to ask yourself, based on the skill and the experience I have, if I were to go to the market, how much will someone pay me as a salary? Can you answer that question, Dumiso?
Yeah, I think I could.
Yeah. So
on that one, I would have to refer to other people doing more or less the job that I'm doing, because I'm doing the job from a director's position of a small company.
No.
I compare to someone who's a project manager or something. Yes.
No, Ndumiso, you are not doing it at the director level. This is you being. Remember, this person has called you to be a partner. even though they've called you to be a partner, the partnership or the fruits of that partnership will be the director's reward, which is the profit sharing. What I am asking you is that, guys, when you are running your business, you actually you have three things. You are playing three roles. Role number one, you are an employee. Role number two, we are actually a direct. Role number three, you are invest. When you are asking yourself about payments, you also have to relate on saying that, okay, what activities am I doing? Are these activities at the director level, i.e. supervisory, or are they actually in me doing the work, even if it's project management? Because if you're confusing the two, then you're not going to be able to account for it properly. Now, if you then say, based on the activities and the things that I'm doing, I'm actually here, this is the role. And you can go, there's Century 21, there's Deloitte & Touche, there's quite a lot of companies that will tell you, for that position, for that work that you are doing, this is an average fee. They will give you the range. This is average fee or salary per year that you will get. Some of it, you will even get it from professional bodies. They will tell you what your rate per hour is this. So when you have answered those questions, you can then kind of see, and you can start actually now, Dumiso, choosing not to do the work of a lower level employees and learn to delegate. So it's also about starting to monitor the time, doing the time sheet and start categorizing the work. If it's an admin work, you put it under admin. And keep in mind that you should be, as a director, creating what? Systems to make sure that that admin is done. Do you see now, you are moving from being an employee, you are now a direct. So just keep the timesheet and acknowledge and check. And then when you are done, you can actually even have different rates as an employee and also as a direct, and then provide them. But you must be objective and not have any emotion. And you cannot say, I've spent 30 hours and you can't prove it with your timesheet.
No, it's true, and I think it makes sense. No, thank you very much. I think I'm clear. It'll boil down to me doing a bit of research on that one as well.
Perfect, great, and good luck. Remember, whoever you're gonna meet as a partner, the more transparent and the more accountability you have, the better that relationship is gonna be in terms of sustainability. So it's not just about the amount, it's about producing the work. So even if you're doing an admin, you should be saying, guys, I've put some time on the admin. This is a template I've created. Tell me what you think. Maybe that is what we should be using going forward. Be open, be transparent, work, try to build yourself within that team so that they can see a value. Remember what money is. It's just an exchange. It's a solving of a problem.
Well, thank you very much, Precious.
Thank you. There is another question. There was another question. Lerata is saying, wow, excellent. I love Q&A interaction. Wonderful. Katlako is asking, would it be possible to start paying employees on a minimum wage and then later structure the pay scale to a normal standard? So Katlako, it depends honestly on your industry. So other industry, they have bargaining councils that set up certain amounts for certain levels. Others, there is Department of Labor, the regulations that prescribe how much. So my suggestion for you will be, look at what Department of Labor has provided as guidelines. But surely you can pay people a minimum wage and then later state that you will actually revise based on the performance of the business. There is nothing wrong with that. It also encourages people to perform and build themselves up. So there was another question. I don't know if the person's name, but the way they asked, they said, hi there. What would I like to know is, how do you structure your income in order for your business to start accumulating and paying for assets like properties and vehicles and still pay you a salary? I've heard people saying cars they drive is paid by the business in their houses. Receiver of revenue will have a fee. Okay, let me try to work this. I think you have to understand that in any environment, in a business, whether even in your personal life, in finance, we only deal with 4 things: income, expenditure, asset, and liabilities. 4 things. Whether you're dealing with a business that is listed in GSE, listed in Hong Kong Stock Exchange, or listed in New York, it doesn't really matter. Or whether you're even dealing with a government institution or in your personal life. When we talk about finance, we're talking about what? Those 4 things. So the assets produces income. And the income that you are actually generating in your business, what it actually have been built on from the money that you have spent, which is your expenses. And how you pay for your expenses, you can either use your money, which is your equity, or you can use someone else's money. And the debt then will also fund what? The asset. I don't know. I feel like I should actually be showing it on a board. Maybe you guys can see and understand it better. Let me try to do that. I'm not as prepared as other time. I thought I didn't need to write. Can you guys see this? Can you see this? Please confirm if you can see this. Okay. Great. Okay.
Yes, we can see.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, so what I'm trying to show you here is just basic finance. I am saying in finance, we deal with four things. And I said it's income, it's expenses, and it's assets, and it's debt. It doesn't matter how big, it's a listed company, it's a spaza shop somewhere, it doesn't really matter. This side is what we call income statement. Here is what we call balance sheet. Income less expenses gives you what? Profit. And asset less your debt, it gives what? Your net worth, which the accountants call it equity, shareholders, equity, and all that. The assets produces income. The income that you generate, which is your revenue, is actually made from the money that you have spent. And the money that you have made, profit or loss, affect what? Your net worth. And the expenses that you actually have incurred is financed. This debt is a finance either by equity or other people's money. And the debt also finances what? The asset. So on that note, for those who want to create wealth or go through, and when you are buying assets, like a house, like a car, your personal car, do you think that's gonna produce the income? Yes, no, come on, give me the answer.
No, it's gonna be liability towards the company.
Exactly. What it is going to actually do is that when someone assess your business, they have your financial, because this is financial statements. This is income statement. This is a balance sheet. The only thing that is missing is the cash flow. And guys, the cash flow is the movement between the balance sheet and income statement. That's all cash flow is. So when I'm analyzing your business and you're coming for funding or for whatever support you're looking for, you're not going to measure, because the assets that are here are not producing what? Income. And what also is going to happen, your expenditures are going to be what? Non-deductible. You are not compliant in terms of Income Tax Act, and you are not compliant in terms of VAT. And by the way, SARS can actually penalize you for making those mistakes. They're even now planning to make it a criminal charge to make mistakes like that. So what I'm saying to you, for the person, those people who are doing those things, that's a wrong way of running a business. You should separate your personal life from a business. because you are not the same person. A business is separate from yourself. Those who I have ran training with on compliance, we just finished compliance. I think 2 weeks back we had a closing program. Those who are interested in joining and understanding, because it also indicates people don't understand their roles and responsibilities as directors, but they also don't understand the roles and responsibilities in terms of being a taxpayer. You can't be deducting expenses that are not related to the business. That is stealing from a business. Now, as for the business paying you a salary, there's nothing wrong with that, but you must pay taxes on the salary that you have generated on the business in your personal capacity, but also the business pays the taxes in its own personal capacity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes sense.
Yes, it does.
It makes sense, Precious.
Makes sense.
So,
Very interesting.
financial statements, guys,
very interesting.
Yes.
it's the easiest thing to understand. We just need to understand 4 things as entrepreneurs and forget about what the accountants are telling your debits and credit and all that crap. Forget about that. You just need to understand those 4 things. How much money did I earn? How much money did I spend? How much asset do I own? How much asset do I owe? And just remember, before I close, just remind me, I'm going to give you 2 things that I wish in the business schools I've been, they will have told me, because I'm probably going to be a multi-millionaire right now. Just remind me to share that, those 2 things. Okay, I'm going to go through the questions again. Perfect. And can I have follow-ups, guys, if you want to ask more questions on that? Because if you don't get that principle, guys, I promise you, you will never make money in business. But 2, you will always mix your personal money and your business money. Hey, the day you get audited, I don't want to be in your shoes. So I'm looking, there's lots of questions. Lerato say, you're such a good teacher. You put things plainly. Thank you. Thank you, Lerato. Someone is asking, hi, is it possible to register myself as an employee in my company on the UIF, while I'm also an employee permanently employed by another company? Okay. So please keep in mind, there's nothing wrong with you registering your business and putting yourself as an employee, as long as the total threshold of the amount that you are actually having does not exceed the total value that the UIF must be calculated, because the UIF calculation must be based on the total value per person. So don't over-insure yourself. What do I mean? It's the same thing that we do sometimes when we take funeral covers on the same person. Remember what UIF is. It's the insurance. My suggestion, rather don't use the UIF as your savings cushion, rather use another instrument if you already are an employee permanently somewhere else. And there's lots of instruments. Oh, guys, I can bring Eunice to help with that. If those who want to have personal development in their finances and build their finances for security, and she can actually come and run that program for us. Then Bongiwe Khatebe is saying, I really need compliance training. It makes sense. Ish. Okay, Bongiwe, Denise, please share the link for everyone who wants to actually come and join us for compliance. Okay, we are gonna run another group just now. Andrew, my new client who just signed up, is saying, Precious, when I'm still at the startup phase, I'm generating fairly a good income and being profitable. What should I prioritize in terms of outsourcing business support services? Is the strategy development or system development necessary at this initial stage? Oh, great question, Andrew. Okay, so we ran a program, guys. I think it was more than 4 weeks back. Bonolo, please put a link, your business development guide. And I'm gonna share something, guys, with you here.
Send it to me, mother. I sent it to you and you're showing it to me. Oh.
Yeah, we need to unmute her. Okay, let me get to the answers that you are raising. Andrew, I'm sharing now. Okay, so first of all, as a startup, I will not necessarily, I will not outsource strategy. Strategy as a startup, I will do it myself, Andrew. And the reason why I will do it myself is because I need to know what will work for me, but I will get somebody else to review. I will get somebody else want to help me with processes on getting the strategy right, but the review also, maybe that review being done by someone whom you know in your industry, but I will develop the strategy myself. And I will have processes and systems that I'm building up. So I think you are interested. We are gonna run a strategy session. It runs on 2 days, but there is a 12-week program that we run with entrepreneurs with the coaching on it. Again, Bonolo, please share the link, or Denise, share the link for people to just have a look. Now, guys, when you're new in a business, you should not create a structure that is confusing. You should create a very simple structure that has these 3 things. You see, you have to really simplify things. For you to get the processes and the systems right, you have to simplify things. So, first part, you're gonna look at administration. What is administration? Administration is corporate services, where as an entrepreneur is the stuff that gets done irrespective of the size of the business and is done everywhere in the world. That is administration. It's routinely, it needs a specialized, it's a cross-function, that is what we call corporate services. And in this case, it's human resources, office administration, information technology, legal, and also finance. So as a business, we'll set that up on 3 levels, and then underneath that, have these as one area. But then ask yourself, under human resources, that's your team. Who do I need to be on my team to fulfill the strategy? Office administration, what do I need to have in my office administration? I no longer have a front desk anymore, but what do I have? How do the customers interact with us? What should I put in place as tools and systems? Information technology, what exactly does that mean in terms of hardware, in terms of our communication also? Legal and compliance, what legal and compliance do I need to have in place? Remember, compliance is relating what? As a taxpayer, as a trader, as an employee, as an employer, and the last one is a taxpayer. Did I mention taxpayer? Taxpayer, trader, yeah, as a trader, the last one is as a trader. So of those, you must have some sort of a checklist. And Andrew, you've already bought a book from me. You have a checklist already that tells you when what obligations need to be filled in the step 3 on the last page. But guess what? Because you are part of our customer now, you've already even bought one of our software that we use, that we recommend to entrepreneurs. We will then, I will ask Denise to email you the checklist that you can use that will help you to manage this administration. Because there's certain activities that needs to be done in finance on monthly basis, on weekly basis. Same thing with legal, same thing with IT, and same thing with office admin, and also same thing with human resources. Guys, the human resources is even irrespective whether you have employees or no employees. There's just compliance of the things you need to have in mind. So that is how I will structure as a startup. And then I will categorize business development as sales, marketing, public relations, customer service, and stakeholder. And then again, when it comes to operation, service delivery, or product delivery, research and development, and also you can even include quality management and so on. But that is how I will structure the business. Andrew, are you sorted?
Yes, Precious, I'm fairly sorted, Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, great. Let me look at one other more question. Okay. Okay, so don't rush with systems in buying software, especially when you are starting. Write down your processes and systems first. So always when you put in controls and processes and systems, write them down first. So that when you then go to the market and looking for a software, look for the software that suit your controls and system that you're putting in place. Okay, Tandongi did, thank you, this is amazing. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, I'm looking at more questions. I'm looking for more questions. And if I maybe have skipped your question, just unmute yourself and ask the question. Please don't stress. We're not strict. This is an open day today. We're covering anything you want us to cover. I had promised also that if you stay until the end, I'm gonna share the 2 things that I wish I had from my business classes that I've attended my entire life. And I think this will save you a lot of money. Guys, I'm looking for questions. I can't find them. Please go ahead. Don't wait for me to allow you to speak. Please go ahead. There's someone who's talking there.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm Napi from Limpopo. Currently, I'm running a funded startup. So I'm actually developing a software that will be used by mines. But now my main problem is now when I have to deploy the software and I have to deal with the pricing or the revenue model. I had the revenue model, I had the revenue stream, but now I have to deal with the figures. And I tried checking online SQL, but it's not easy to really see the revenue stream, like how much are these people making from their softwares, how much are people being charged, and how much is really a fair price, how much is a low, and how much is really a profitable price. That's currently my main challenge, and I would like to be assisted with that. Thank you so much.
We are welcome. Lucky enough, one of the things that I do, I teach in universities and colleges at TUT and also at UJ for the past 6-7 years. So we had a startup program where the software designers, and I did a pricing for them and on how to actually approach the software industry. So don't go away. I want to ask a few questions. What do you mean is funded?
Okay, it was the one for University of South Africa, and I received basically 100,000 to get it running.
Okay, so Thabang, first of all, you should do a market research in the problem that your software solve to check what are your competitors actually charging in that market. But that price that you're gonna charge for your software should be directly linked to the useful life of that software. In general, the useful life of a software, even if it has a targeted customers, it's usually based on 2 years to maximum, I think about 4 years. Am I correct? Thabang? Thabang?
Yes, you are. Sorry, I have to mute and unmute so that I don't disturb your quality.
It ranges between 2 years to 4 years. So you need to say, in this app that I'm developing right now, which number of years? And number two, what you need to ask yourself is that to develop this software, how much does it cost me? If you were employed somewhere by someone, how much would they have paid you for the time you are putting in? You will then work that out and say, maybe I've been working on this program for more than 10 months and my salary in a marketplace will have been maybe 100,000 a month. That means for 10 months, that is 1 million. Then you take that 1 million, you divide it by the number of years that it's almost like you taking the app as an asset and you are depreciating it because you want to work out the return on investment. You then start saying, okay, how much would it cost to maintain it? How much would it cost to deal with the bugs? And then you put that in. And then you say to the client, a once-off fee, my friend, is this amount. But the maintenance and the routine, we call it patching, right? Routine patching, I will charge you this. I'm committing this time. For your support, I will return your calls within 24 hours. Or I will return your calls within 24 hours or 8 hours. Or whatever that you are comfortable with or the customer is comfortable with. So that you can then now have a once-off fee, but you can also now build up the retainer. That is one approach, especially if there's someone who says, build this for me. Now, let's assume you're like me. I want to develop apps that are not necessarily for a specific person, but that are going to be used by different people. The revenue model is going to be different there because now it's going to be based on the license fees, the number of subscriptions. But the way you do that, the approach again will be different. You should start by freemium. I'm sure you've heard the word freemium. You start by freemium, and that freemium, you run it, you can decide whether you run it 30 days, 90 days, or 60 days. Based on the uptake, you then start saying, you know what, I'm gonna launch my app, and there's lots of platforms where to kickstart, you do the freemium, and then you do a lifetime deal. A lifetime deal is when you are actually selling your software license at a specific amount, which is not a subscription, it's a lifetime. But you will only do that for a specific time and for the specific number. Once that number is reached, you cut it off. And you do that to cover what? Your operational expenses. So I need you to go back to the drawing board and start asking yourself, as a developer, what do I want to build? What lifestyle do I want? Do I want to always be working for time and money? Because if you are working for time and money, the first business model that I've just explained, the revenue model, will work better. But if you are saying, you know what, Precious, I want to build an app that is actually going to give me revenue while I'm sleeping. Hey, my man, now we are talking. Because now that talks to what? The licensing and also the subscriptions. Thabang, does that make sense?
It does, yes, absolutely.
Okay, if you need further support, and please contact us. Denise can sort out the time. And yeah, it's lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for coming. And I hope this has been very useful for you.
Yes, I surely will take this to the next level with you after this session.
Good. We also are looking for developers that we want to partner with. So it would be lovely to chat to you offline.
Thank you.
Okay, great, guys. I'm still looking for the questions. Okay, there's 2 more that have just arrived. I'm going to go through them. Unmute yourself and talk if maybe I'm taking too long. We don't have a lot of time. Okay, so Lulamile Bavuma is saying, hi, I'm listening to the presentation. This is eye-opening. Thank you so much, guys. You're welcome. We're here every 2 weeks. We're here coaching and training. And you guys, those who want compliance, you want to have an understanding of what are the things that you need to be watching and how to understand our legislation, join the compliance. Those who want to learn how to earn the money, keep the money and raise the money. Andrew, since you are making the money, since you are actually earning the money, I'm gonna teach you how to keep the money, because that's another story, guys. It's one thing to make.
Not really. I'm still getting there. I'm still getting there.
Keeping the money is another story. Okay, so Kolela is saying, Precious, does your program offer certification and an opportunity for startup? Of course, but of course on one point. We don't offer certification. We offer a practical education. We will give you a course for attendance, which only when people request. Our aim is not to give you a certification to hang. Our aim is to help you to have money in the bank account so that your worth in your life and your business can improve. If there's any measure for that, that's all we would like to actually be measured on. We also want to, when you have spent 1 hour or 2 hours with us, you don't come up the same person you were when you joined. That is what we strive for. So we are not in certification. I do the certification when I'm doing with UJ and also doing with even other programs that I run with Jayashree, other programs that I run at NEF and all that. We do programs that I got certification. For finance success, it's certification of attendance, and that's it. But also, we only help you with funding when you have gone through our processes and systems. Even when we're talking about people, so the people that attended the compliance, the next stage for them is to now do strategy. And those who have not attended compliance, join. Those who are saying, you know what, right now, I just want to learn how to earn money. Bonolo, please put the link for those that want. Just make sure, guys, when you submit the document, it does has a BET certificate, because you are not paying when you join for the first time. But when you come the second time around, we do charge. So opportunity funding for startup, of course we do, but we must actually analyze your business to match you with the right customer or the right funder. And what we have noticed though, is that most entrepreneurs, they go around and say, I'm looking for a startup funding, but there's nothing to fund. Can I repeat what I've just said? I know some of you are gonna hate me, but that's fine. Guys, most of you go around saying, I'm looking for funding, but when you start analyzing the business, there is absolutely nothing to fund. For you to be funded, you must have an idea that has been tested. If that idea has been tested, you must estimate and know what that customer is willing to pay for that product or solution that you have. If you don't have a customer, there is nothing to fund. Can I have an amen on that one? You guys are gonna hate me, but I have to give it to you straight up. Okay, Bennett, you have a question? Andrew, interesting. Gail saying amen. Yes, Gail.
Amen for you.
Huh?
It was an amen for you.
Exactly. Loretta says, ouch. Guys, you have no idea how much crap I've gone through to come to this conclusion. I also trained for NEF, Empowerment Fund, National Empowerment Fund. And the stuff we have gone through, I want to just show you something. Let me turn this back again. I think if I show you, maybe it will make sense to you. So what do I mean when I say entrepreneurs have nothing to fund? For any person to fund you, they must have some sort of something which we call sales projections. And sales projections are basically what? A customer profile of the people that are interested in buying from you, and they have quantified how much volume they will actually buy from you, right? It's basically the units, which, because remember, income is sales, And sales is price multiplied by quantity, which is the volume. I don't know, can you guys see? I think I'm writing with the wrong pen. Hang on, let me find the right pen. I was not planning to use this board. Apologies. Let me just sort myself out. Okay, there we go. So what I am saying, sales is equal to price multiplied by quantity, which is the volume. So when I'm doing a sales projections, I'm saying in your business plan, what are the sales projection? I'm basically asking you, tell me how much are you gonna charge for that product and services and what would be the volume? And the only way you can get this information is by making sure you have what? A customer profile. And most of you don't even know what is your customer profile. As a result, you can't quantify how many units is Tom or Uberi gonna buy from you. And you don't even know who that person is. As a result, that business plan is just cut and paste, thumb sucking, downloaded from some dodgy website. I am so sorry for laughing, but guys, I have to laugh because some of it has made me cry. Because some of you spend thousands of money paying some consultant to do a business plan. Hey, Natul. Okay, Mozi, Ndumis, Sheriff, come on, guys. Am I making the stuff up? David, hi. Hello, everyone. Am I making the stuff up? Okay, everyone is saying, Ish, amen, Lulam. Okay, guys, any questions? Any questions? Do you guys have any questions for me? Okay, I'm gonna look at, there was a follow-up that I wanted to do on some of the items that you guys raised. Okay, so remember I said in your business, you are having 3 roles. You're an employee, you're also a director, and then you're also an investor, which is a shareholder. These people, they're paid different ways, right? Who get paid the least? Can someone guess? A, B, C. Who get paid the least? Atlego, yes. What you get paid the least is this person, the employee. But most of you as directors, you actually do the work of what? An employee. You should stop doing the job of an employee and do the job as a direct. Set up systems, set up processes in place so that you can manage your business. Run an engine, run your business and manage it and build it up based on system, because that is what sells. It's not your time as an employee. Someone is saying something about MBAs and stuff. Okay, let's see. Can I hire a consultant who has never ran a successful business, but just academic? Someone with no real experience. And no, as an example. So, Andrew, let me explain something to you. And this is no undermining people from MBAs, okay? This is not to undermine people with MBAs. The person whom you're gonna employ from the MBAs is gonna actually come with an organizational structure that has at least 7 to 8 functions. And yet, practically, I've already given you only 3 to simplify your life. The MBAs, that of the things that most schools are actually, their case studies are based on well-established businesses. They are not based on agile. They're not based on simplicity. They're not based on trying to build an organic business that is going to grow very fast. So if I was you, Andrew, I will only hire a consultant who will do an MBA, who did an MBA to implement what you have done, not to actually help you to think through things. That's my views. Guys, let me tell you something. You know, most entrepreneurs, they start. First, they are first entrepreneurs in their families. Is the first generation, basically, entrepreneurs. You are not like Jews, whom in the table they were discussing business. Things that they're not Muslims, where at the young age they're already exposed to actually being in business. You're gonna start stopping taking risk on the things that you shouldn't take risk on. You see, guys, the number ones in the world, they have coaches and mentors. But you, with no idea, you're first generation entrepreneur, you have never run a business before, you wanna take chances. And that is why South African entrepreneurship has such a high failure rate. We wanna take chances. You know, life for me is too short. I wouldn't wanna take chances. I have never studied anything, guys, except business since I was 14 years old. But still today, I'm struggling with certain things and processes. I haven't got my business where I want to actually for it to go. I've given myself the next 12 months to actually exit my business because I'm no longer growing. As much as I love what I'm doing with you now, it doesn't pay for the fees and the things that I need to pay for. It doesn't afford me the lifestyle I wanna do. So you really, there are certain things that even if you love them, you're gonna have to figure out a way of doing them in the less cost efficient way, especially if they're not paying you. But you're also gonna reduce the pain and the failure rate by making sure that you are actually coached and mentored by someone who has the experience, by someone who knows what they're saying. But if you're not sure, test their ideas with somebody else and other people. Guys, start learning from people who are ahead of you. And let me say this, in isiZulu, we call it indlela ibuzwa kwabaphambili. And I think as Black people, we have forgotten those basic things that we're supposed to be asking people that are ahead of us when we actually need support and care on how we're going to build our businesses. We go around our businesses so arrogant as though we know everything, and yet every day we're screwing up. Only when we look at your books and say, hey, what's happening here? And you pick up a whole lot of mess that you didn't even see, but you have signed your name on it. And I really need you to understand that you can make as much money as you want, but if you do not have proper system processes, you do not have an understanding of what you are doing, you will lose it all. And some actually get to be foolish. Other entrepreneurs get to be very foolish. They buy themselves cars and have number plates at 10 to 1. The day he sees the 7 million going to his bank account, it goes crazy and buy cars for cash. You know, we have seen it all. It's time now to build entrepreneurs that are going to build businesses that are going to go from one generation to another. It's time now for you to wake up and realize you are on your own. The politicians that you were trusting that were going to give you things, they are not going to give you things. It's taken them so long. You're going to sort yourself out. For you as an entrepreneur, it's about saving yourself. And the only way you're going to save yourself is actually educate yourself every day. Is to make sure that in the areas that you need development, you constantly are seeking for that information, you're seeking for that guidance, and you're seeking for advice. Look at it, analyze it, go back and follow up and do the right thing. And that is what I aspire that as entrepreneurs, as you have joined this platform, guys, that is what I would like you guys to actually have in the long term. Do it with integrity. Do it with honesty at all times. It's about time now we build the real entrepreneurs, not the tenderpreneurs. Okay, you guys, I love what I do, so the spirit takes over, so forgive me. Okay, let me look at a few more questions. Stephanie Rashona said, I'm learning here. Thanks, Precious. Thank you. Power cut off. Oh, sorry, Tabang. We will send you the video. Don't worry. Just SMS us the questions if you can still hear us. Someone says, oh, very true, Precious. Thank you for that feedback. Andrew Mabel, thanks, I agree. Lerato said, I vow by this session, how do I sign up for the fortnight coaching session? Okay, Lerato, I don't do coaching session for people that have not read the book, that have also attended the compliance and also attended the session where we're setting the goals. And that is for the whole group. So until you have gone through that process of training, we can then have a coaching session. And Lerato, we will contact you to follow up on that and see how we can make up. But also for those who are interested in seeing how they can, Bonolo, include the link where we are recruiting for the trust, because maybe Lerato can join. Lerato, I'm not sure if you have done the compliance, the full session. So just give us a feedback, and then link will go through in here for you guys to sign up, because we do have a sponsored program, but that sponsored program, you're only allowed to attend one component of the session. So if you've already attended, like Ubabu Alfred has already attended the compliance, you will then have to buy the other programs. Bonolo, please put a link. Alfred is saying, good afternoon. The time you spend teaching is worth. This is a continuous improvement. I love the building blocks I have gone through. Thank you so much, Babu Alfred. Abu Alfred bought my book, or it was a gift almost 2 years ago, and he attended the compliance, and now he has signed up for a strategy. Lerato, I don't even have a book. I'll buy it after the session. Now, Lerato, the reason why we're asking you to buy the book and go through the training program, Lerato, is also because the principle that we teach you, some of those things are already in the book. So when I am teaching on the board like this, I'm emphasizing just on how the application will work out. But also, I don't want to teach the things that are already in the book. I want to help you implement now. So the coaching session and the training is about implementation than actually understanding the principles. And I hope you guys understand. I'm not being stringent or anything. It's just, I think I've done a lot of mistakes, and one of them was coaching people that didn't have a knowledge. And having a knowledge is important. But also, Lerato, go through some of our programs that we actually have ran. Go to YouTube. Bonolo, put the link for YouTube. Guys, when you go to YouTube and watch, subscribe so that when we load in the new content, you will also get notified. Subscribe and also put the notification button. And also you can put questions there when you actually need some guidance. Okay, seems like you guys are good. Okay, so I have another question here. Any more questions? Zwelak?
Yes, yes. I also have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Domiso, go ahead.
Yeah. With regards to the business plan,
Yeah.
I once had a guy I partnered with who had a brilliant idea, because we are also into the agricultural sector.
Okay.
Animal wanted to manufacture goat milk.
Okay.
And we had a guy who wanted to buy it in volumes. But now the thing is, we did not have a proper business plan.
Yeah.
For the idea. It was a good idea. We did the research. We found that it's good for people who are lactose intolerant and whatnot. But now, what I wanted to find out, is it a good thing to maybe approach someone who would do a proper business plan for us, which will show the projections, show how profitable is the business and whatnot, because that's not our strong fold.
Okay, so I think first of all, if you need a business plan for your business, you must get something which is called the funder's prospects, or the requirements of the funder that you want to design the business plan for, so that the person who's writing that business plan makes sure that they are meeting the minimum requirements of that fund. Number two, Domis, a business plan can be written by a consultant, but that consultant must be listening to you guys who are going to run that business, on how you're going to run it. They can't just do their own thing in that business plan, because when it's time to do presentation, that consultant won't be there. So you have to know what is actually there. The best way of doing a business plan, Dumis, is to go to internet and find something they usually call business plan questionnaire. Complete that questionnaire in full detail. Then you go to the business consultant and say, here is our business plan. Would you please put it together? That is the best way of doing it. But I also want to say, guys, it doesn't matter what is sitting on that business plan. Any funder is going to ask three things in any business. One, Dumiso, do you
Yes.
have an experience in farming of goats and also the production of the cheese that you are talking about? Yes or no?
Yes, we do have experience.
Two, do you have a qualification of doing that?
Unfortunately, none of us.
Three,
Of us do.
if you don't have a qualification, do you know where you can go to find the right qualification? Maybe Agriculture Council, maybe HRC, but someone whom, when there's a problem in your plant, you can go and ask help. Can you try that?
Yes.
Okay. The last one, are you worth the money you are looking for? Hey, guys,
Yes. Yes. There's no second. Wow.
So what do I mean when I'm saying, are you worth the money you are looking for? Are you credible? Do you have integrity? On the business you have ran before, how did you run them? On your life, how are you conducting yourself? Maybe you have debt, you've been blacklisted by every credit. Guys, all those things count on whether you're gonna get funding or not, irrespective of who's funding you. Even if it's DFIs, they will still look at that. So they look at experience and they look at your qualification. And if you don't have a qualification, you will then put measures. We don't have a qualification, but these are the platform, or these are the places where we'll request support and the consulting for them to assist us. And then the last one, are you worth the money that you are looking for? Have you demonstrated before that you can handle the money that you are asking for? As I've told you guys, hey, the stuff I've seen, the stuff I've seen, people cannot handle money, especially if it's too much money. They can't handle it, it's too much. My suggestion for you is that, yes, do the business plan as a 6 month plan, in terms of in 6 months you work towards a business plan, but start producing now. Do it in the backyard and start producing and selling, so that by the time you're doing a business plan, you've already experienced on how this business can actually work. And that would be my advice. Build up the customer base, build up, I'm of a view, businesses like that in the long term are actually gonna be very, very profitable, because we're moving towards a generation that's gonna focus on health. We're moving towards a generic. The fact that we have a health crisis right now, it means the next century from now, we will really be focusing on health. So having those products that are actually not a generic product that are being offered out there. I mean, look, Ndumiso, right now, 2 years ago, you will go to the shop to buy milk. You will only find dairy milk. This day you find almond, you find coconut, so there's definitely a market.
I fully agree, because that's the research we've made. We found there's a market for goat milk.
Yeah.
And it's mostly used in hospitals, yes.
Yeah.
So I'll take the idea that I think we need to start producing as of now onwards.
Start producing and do it at the back and sell it and start selling.
Yes.
Target the right market, target the right people, find health shops, figure out what's the byproduct also of the stuff that you are doing, what's the storage, what are the things, and start learning and doing it. But as you're completing that questionnaire, your business plan yourself, complete that yourself, and then give it to someone who will have looked at the top 5 or top 6 funders' requirements so that they make a business plan that is meeting the requirements of the fund.
No, thank you very much. That's very informative.
Thank you so much. There is another question, guys. Let's see. How does, this is Gatlego, he says, how does the business maintain solvency while maintaining a good credit standing? Yo, Gatlego, should you be even in this training? Okay, a lot of big words there. I doubt people are understanding what you're saying. So guys, what is solvency? So solvency is actually an ability to pay for your debt. This part, ability to pay off the debt, okay? Maintaining a good credit, it's very much about the solvency. So first of all, you must honor all your agreements. Guys, this applies whether it's verbal or whether it's a written agreement. When you cannot honor your word, go back to that person and say, you know what, I can't meet this obligation. May I actually make another arrangement? But don't wait until that person calls you and say, hey, Lerato, what's happening? Do you understand what I mean? Your word as an entrepreneur must be the law. Integrity, guys. Integrity. You know, I serve sometimes customers and clients that have not even paid me a cent. Not because I have all the time in the world. For heaven's sake, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I have 12 other entities that I deal with in public sector. Guys, you know what's happening in public sector. As a board member, some of them I chair the audit committees. But I will make sure that if I have promised something to someone, because I have came to a really keen realization that a business is built from relationships. I think, again, this is one of the things that don't get taught in business schools. Business is built from relationships. You're struggling with money. You are not networking in the right platform. You're struggling with generating more revenue and sales. You are talking to the wrong people. You are not networking. You are not selling yourself. You are not selling the value, your value into the market. They don't know about you. And those are the things that I think it's about. That is why I'm saying, you see, credit and integrity and things relating to solvency will not even come to be a question if you live by your word. So as an entrepreneur, that's the only thing you have, guys, your word. Your word. And guess what? It pays off. It pays off because one customer referred another customer and another customer refer another customer. And for me, it has. So yeah. Okay. Another one. Oh, Katla will send this privately. Don't send questions privately because sometimes I don't see them. Okay, guys, I'm looking for all the questions. Anyone who wants to ask or follow up, guys? Zolake, you came late. Is it okay if I give you an opportunity to ask any question you want to ask? Sawubona Zolake.
No, for now I'm okay. I was gonna have something, but for now I'm still okay. I'm following you. But
No.
my network is bad on my side, so
Yes, don't worry.
I'm trying to catch up.
Just type it when you get something.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Okay, no, that's fine. We can hear you. I'm saying just type it on the chat where you actually when you have one, and you can also leave the questions, guys, even on the YouTube. We do check them and follow up and answer also. Okay, what else, guys? I'm looking. Carl, hello. Gail, any questions? I can see return clients here. Louise, Muzi, Stephanie, are there any questions? Devin Andrews, hello. How guys, it's so quiet. It's like no one wants to talk to me. Everyone is afraid now. I'm not scary. Andrew said, can Andrew use a mentor who is not in the same industry? Does not have an industry knowledge. Okay, Andrew is asking that, can an entrepreneur use a mentor who's not in a same industry or does not have an industry knowledge? So guys, there's a difference between a mentor and a coach. You can't have a mentor that is not in your industry if you're looking for that mentor to mentor you on your industry. But you can have a mentor mentoring you on other business functions. So just keep that in mind. But in addition to that, a coach does not even need to know. Guys, a coach is someone who's saying, you need to do 1, 2, 3. They might have not played the ball themselves. There's nothing wrong with that because that's a coach. A coach is the person who's going to say the things you don't want to hear. A coach is going to be the person who sees the game outside of the play area and highlight the weaknesses and issues or things that you need to fix. And most of the time, we don't want to hear our coaches, because we want to do our own thing. There's no accountability. And so, yeah. Oh, hi, Gail. Gail is saying, sorry, I joined late. We had a power failure, no questions, but I'm learning a lot, and I'm glad for this opportunity. You're welcome, Gail. My suggestion for you, Andrew, look at this. Let me share again. Look at these business functions, right? Look at these business functions and start allocating yourself mentors and coaches for each of these. And obviously the ones that will be in this side will be from your industry because you don't want to get anything except from your industry. But here, they may not be from your industry. Here, they may not be from your industry. Doesn't matter because they will be teaching you or helping you to fix things in here. Andrew, does that make sense?
It does. It does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great, guys. Who else has a question? Come on. Let's go. Let's go. We're left with a few minutes, and I'm so excited about my 2 things that I'm going to share with you. Devin, any questions? Guys, we're such a small group. We should be using this. My rate per hour is 3,500, okay? So you should be using this opportunity like milking it. Please come prepared next time, and you can ask any question. I may not know your industry answers, but I will give you the business principles of it. Okay? And if I don't know, I will find you. I'll find a person who can help you. Okay, everyone is quiet. Okay. Bonalo, did you receive, and also Denise, did you receive any questions on emails? Maybe let's also deal with the questions that could have been sent on emails. Okay, no one. Let me give you this. So, guys, in business, to be successful, you have to understand two principles. To be in business and be successful in business, you have to understand two principles. And two principles are based on number one. I hope you guys have your notebooks when you are coming to these trainings, eh? Because listening to this and yeah, just have your notebook. One, you will never make money if you create a job for yourself. Professionals, you generally are the ones who are guilty of this. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, read a book by Michael Gerber, E-Myth Revisited. Read that book. The aim for you to start a business is to create a job for other people, not to create a job for yourself. The only way you will make money is by making sure that you build systems and processes to employ other people to do the job that you are doing, so that you can then be what? Investor and the direct. And not do the job of the lowest pay, which is the employee. Principle number two, and may I ask if there's anyone who has a question on the principle number one? Can I have questions? I want to connect the light. Can I have questions, guys? Can I have questions? Is anyone who doesn't understand what I've just explained? Guys, come on, comment, please.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes, I'll give an example with a doctor who's running a private practice, or a lawyer who's running his own private law practice.
Those are the professionals.
Yes. Does it mean that a person like that, because his business relies on him or her, the skill, does it mean that that person will actually struggle to convert that into a business? Obviously, that person can have admin people doing admin work for them, but the main core business, does it mean that there's no way that person can convert that into a business? If it
What
relies
are they selling, Andrew? What are they selling? According to what are they selling?
They are selling knowledge. They're selling consulting services, the knowledge that they gain from school or experience.
No, they are selling time.
Oh, time, sorry. Okay.
They are selling time. You can never sell time, guys. If you're selling time, you know, all of us have 24 hours, which means for the rest of their life, they're gonna be what? Working. So how the doctors should then be doing, they should choose just one skill that they love, that they are the best in. And that is why you will find a surgery will do 30 surgeries in a day, because he just moved one thing there, and that's it, he's done. But if he were to do everything, put all of it together, do all of that, do you understand what I mean? Then he's not being efficient. So that is a skill. So he will then have people that can do other things. But he has done just what is paid the highest skill. So in your business, do the job of the highest value. Do the work that brings the highest value in your business, not the lowest value. That's the principle. Guys, I can't spell E-Myth. Can someone Google it? Dennis, Google Michael Gerber E-Myth and post it here. I will do a summary of E-Myth book. I think I used to have a summary before. It's going to help you to mob. I mean, Michael Gerber even created a sub headings of these books. One of them, I have it, that book, it's E-Myth Revisited, but for accountants. He did one for dentists, he did one for different, telling them how they should actually be optimizing and creating systems and processes in business, so that even if though they are paid as professionals to do what they choose a certain thing that is of high value, so that you don't sell money for time and time for money, because then you're gonna work for the rest of your life. Okay, can I have someone else asking the question or a follow-up question on the principle that you have to employ people to guys, no one is talking. Okay, you guys are afraid of me. I know I'm intimidating sometimes, but that's not the intention. Okay, Bonolo, you have put this to me privately. Please put it to everyone. Thank you. Okay, so principle number 2, to be successful in your business, you have to use other people's money. The fact that you have built a business, it means you have separated your personal life to the business. Then you have to use other people's money to generate and build and grow your business. Guys, I have seen it over and over. The financial statements of most entrepreneurs that do not understand that principle, what we find, the asset maybe is 30 million, but what is sitting on this, let me show you. So the asset here is sitting maybe at 30 million, but the debt maybe is 2 million. That business is not leveraged. That business is not leveraging other people's money. And that business is gonna have a cash flow problem at some point. Guys, these two are the things I wish the business schools, all the trainers and teachers and consultants can focus on and teach entrepreneurs, especially Black entrepreneurs that are so afraid of debt. I think you have been conditioned to think debt is bad. No, debt is bad when you go to Truworths and Woolworths and buy clothes you don't need. Debt is bad when you go to Woolworths and use a Woolworths card to buy food. That's gonna get flushed down the drain. That is a bad debt. But a good debt is a debt that you're gonna take 100 Rand from somebody to generate 200 Rand, so that you're left with another 100 Rand, which you'll pay interest, and then you'll have some profits. So I hope, guys, you understand those principles, that you grow your business by employing other people who are cheaper than your time to make money for you. And if you are struggling to monetize your business or to systemize your business, that business is dead. Because that business will only survive as far as you can survive. And that is why most of our businesses are dying. But you also have to understand, you have to run your business properly so that you can attract the right investors. And the right investors can only come in when you know what the heck you're doing with your financial statements. Definitely not buying assets and houses in your for your personal use as though they are for business. That's not how you're gonna run your business. That lacks integrity. That lacks actually a business acumen that we're looking for this country. We want real entrepreneurs who are gonna stick with it even when it's hard. And that is what we need. Someone is saying, I'm busy buying the book online, E-Myth Revisited, Why Most Business Don't Work. He wrote that book almost 30 some odd years, if I'm not mistaken, or 20 years ago. He's one of the greatest business consultants in the world. That's a great book. It's going to help you to understand systems. Because you see, you can't employ people when you have not built those systems. And guys, building system is tough. Sure, it's tough. Using other people's money, you can't use other people's money when you are mixing both your personal money and the business money. Separate the accounts, pay the salary, get paid properly, pay your taxes. Keep your books clean, then you can attract investors. So some entrepreneurs, again, they go around, we are looking for funding. When you start analyzing their financial statements, oh Lord, help us. A week ago or 2 weeks back, I had an entrepreneur, his business generates about 30 odd million. And he takes about 10 to 15% of his salary. And I'm like saying to him, why would you be taking so much? And yet you're saying you need support. He says, no, Precious, I paid for asset using my own cash. Then I say to him, bro, so where is the shareholders loan account? Where is your shareholders loan account if you used your money to buy for the business? Why didn't your accountant have a shareholders loan account? Because now your books look quite bad. You're withdrawing way too much, yet you're looking for support, you're looking for more financing into your business. What will a funder be reading when they're reading your financial statements? Guys, understand, financial statements and accounting records the summary of your decisions. The bad decisions that you make, we will see them here on the financial statement. And if you have a bad accountant who cooks the books, we will also pick it up. So don't think you can get away with things. I know in South Africa, I think the politicians have given an altitude that feels or look as though you can get away with anything. There's nothing in life that you will do that you will actually get away from. So yeah, someone says, so having SOPs in place for certain function in business, will that be the right direction in putting? Yes, Kathleen. I would prefer that have the SOPs, but before you do your SOPs, identify the risk. Identify the risk in that function. And then after the risk of that function, then put the controls. So not the other way around. Don't focus so much on narrating the processes of your SOP, but focus on the risk so that you can drive controls on the areas that you see as a risk. The last one that Lerato asked earlier, the question, was about the financial discipline. So I guess next time we'll talk about it more detail. So I think the way we should be thinking about financial discipline is equal to freedom. So financial discipline is equal to what? Financial freedom. If you're undisciplined, for the rest of your life, you're gonna be a slave. And why are you gonna be a slave? It's gonna be because you pay everybody else except yourself. So you're gonna need to start rewarding yourself, pay yourself first. So for every money that you generate, Lerat, take that percent and pay yourself. Take that percent and pay yourself before you pay other people or everybody else. Because if you don't do that, I promise you, for the rest of your life, you're gonna be a slave, because you're actually a slave when you pay other people and you don't pay yourself. You are working for them. And most of us are stuck in poverty because we don't understand the basic principle of a seed. You know, I'm a rural girl. When I grew up in KZN, my grandmother, we will do the harvest. When we do the harvest, they will take the best crop. Best crop will be the seeds for the following season. And no matter what happens during the off season, or we don't have money or food, that crop that is the best will always be remaining in the house, which is the place which we call it umsamo. It's a secret place. And we will never touch it, no matter how hungry we will be. And as a Black child, we have forgotten those principles that our ancestors taught us. We eat the whole thing. We even eat the seed. And the seed is that 10%. And you can use that 10% to invest on yourself. Find out, Precious, what programs can I, these are the challenges. So and so, these are the challenges I have in my business. Maybe I need this, maybe I need, invest on yourself, pay yourself. Because if you don't do those things, we call it the 21st century slavery. You're paying everybody else except yourself. Guys, thank you so much for your time. I hope you have enjoyed your session. I know I'm harsh and some people don't like my harshness, but you know what? I'm gonna have to dish it. I only have 2 hours with you. I'm gonna have to tell you as I see it, as I have experienced it, but also the way I have seen what works, what doesn't work. Thank you so much for your time. We will email you guys the link for this video, but should there be any other things that you want to know, we will also put the link even on the chat. And guys, thank you so much. If there's no one who has questions, I think I'm done for today. I hope you did get those 2 principles. Principle about how you actually can run a successful business, but the last one that we spoke about was relating of you relieving yourself from poverty and slavery. Thanks, Sisi. Enjoy your presentation. Brilliant first interaction. Look forward to the next session. Sharif, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Lots of love. Keep the questions coming. Keep attending sessions like this. Keep on searching for knowledge and understanding. Just remember those 2 principles. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Precious. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Lots of love. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sis Precious. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Precious. Thank you.
Keep on pushing. Yeah?